The Grayson family was once a well-known name in the northeastern part of Massachusetts, remembered for their wealth, influence, and the massive estate they built in the mid-19th century. The mansion, known locally as the Grayson House, still stands in a quiet corner of the countryside, mostly hidden by creeping vines and towering trees. Its ornate iron gates and crumbling stone walls tell a story of faded glory. But it's not the architecture or legacy of success that keeps people talking. It's the mystery. For over a century, the Graysons have been the subject of rumors, strange stories, and unsettling coincidences that have earned them a reputation that time has yet to erase. It all began in 1842, when Thomas Grayson, a successful businessman in the railway industry, purchased several hundred acres of wooded land and began construction on what would become the Grayson estate. Local builders helped raise the structure, a grand Victorian-style mansion. Some workers reported unusual feelings while on the property, and a few even claimed to hear things in the woods surrounding the site. When one worker reportedly went missing during construction, it was chalked up to a personal decision to leave town, though no official records ever explained the disappearance. Thomas moved into the completed house with his wife Eleanor and their baby boy, Augustus. For a time, life appeared quiet. Family was known to host formal dinners, contribute to town events, and support local institutions. But in 1853, tragedy struck. Eleanor passed away in the home, and while official reports suggested an accidental fall, those close to the family noted she had seemed distressed in her final weeks. Though there was no foul play confirmed, this incident marked the beginning of a long line of unexplained or unfortunate events surrounding the family. Augustus Grayson grew up under the care of a small staff and his often absent father. He eventually inherited the estate and married Clara Wentall, the daughter of a respected shipbuilder. They had twins, Victor and Lillian. But by the following year, Claire had disappeared. Augustus claimed she had returned to visit family and never came back. However, town records revealed she was never seen again after one particular winter night at the mansion. Over time, whispers of family secrets grew, though nothing was ever proven or investigated officially. Victor and Lillian grew up in the mansion, seemingly close but very different in personality. Victor was confident, intent for his academic focus. Lillian was quieter, more introspective, and often seen sketching in the gardens. As they reached adulthood, changes began to surface. Lillian once confided in a local teacher that she felt the house wasn't just home, it was listening. Then, in the early 1800s, a broke out in one of the mansion's wings. Lillian was found outside the house, unharmed but emotionally shaken. She spoke of shadows and voices. After being examined by medical professionals, she was placed under care at a nearby facility, where she passed away several years later. Victor, meanwhile, went on to rebuild the damaged section of the house and eventually married a woman named Margaret. They were often seen at social events, hosting elegant parties and entertaining prominent guests. However, Margaret's health appeared to decline in the years following their marriage. She became more withdrawn and was rarely seen outside. Her passing was officially listed as self-inflicted, and while a note was found, its contents were never publicly released in full. Some believe it referenced emotional challenges and a growing fear of isolation within the estate. Victor's two children, Henry and Evangeline, were raised quietly. Henry passed away at a young age during an outdoor outing, and though it was deemed a tragic accident, some family acquaintances felt the details never quite added up. Evangeline, upon reaching adulthood, chose to leave the estate and eventually changed her name. She pursued a career in literature and is believed to have based some of her stories on her experiences at the mansion. In rare interviews, she referred to her childhood home as a place that remembers everything. After Victor's passing in the early 20th century, the mansion changed hands several times within the extended family. Each new resident attempted to restore or modernize the estate, but the efforts were always short-lived. One family member, a relative named Charles, moved in with his spouse and child in the late 1940s. Within 2 years, their time at the mansion ended abruptly due to a series of difficult events that led them to leave the property permanently. From that point on, the house sat mostly unoccupied, visited only occasionally by caretakers and local historians. In the 1980s, an independent researcher named Miriam Blake purchased the home, intending to write a detailed history of the Grayson family. She stayed at the mansion for several years, compiling records, letters, and documents related to the family. Her notes indicated she felt increasingly unsettled the longer she stayed, and she wrote of strange dreams and unexplained sounds. Tragically, her project was never completed. Though her cause of passing was natural, the circumstances left behind only added to the growing legend of the estate. To this day, the Grayson House remains standing, overgrown, and empty. The town it once watched over has grown quiet around it. No official plans have been made to restore or demolish the property, and efforts to list it for sale have been unsuccessful. Some say the building is simply too old and remote to attract interest, while others believe its history plays a part in keeping people away. Passers-by have shared accounts of unusual feelings near the gates, of cold spots, and of faint sounds that carry through the trees on still nights. These stories remain unverified, yet they continue to be shared from one generation to the next. The Grayson family may have faded from public record, but their name lives on through the tales and speculation that surround the house they built. Whether these are the results of imagination, coincidence, or something less explainable, the legacy of the Graysons remains a local mystery. For now, the mansion rests quietly beneath the trees, a monument to a family that built its future on ambition, but left behind questions no one has yet been able to answer.